Hi, so I'm Cameron, and I'm here to talk about Ground Zero Productions, what they're all about, what they do, their current projects, past projects, and also future projects. So, Ground Zero Productions, it's a theatrical movement that is mainly in West Atlantic Canada. For this report, what I did was I actually had an in-depth phone conversation with Dan Bozake, and he's one of the art directors of the whole movement. My report tries to focus on past, present, and future plans of the movement, and I just want to get the viewers of this video just to actually get a grasp of what the movement stands for. Now, the first topic I'd like to brush on is what Ground Zero actually does. Now, Ground Zero Productions focuses on three things: community arts, popular theater, and labor arts. The GZP community based arts focuses on social inclusion. Now, the members of the local community come together, express concerns or issues through an artistic process. And now this process then triggers events or even changes within the community. When it comes to popular theater, Ground Zero production members will use this to make change within a desired community. The theatrical movement is made from members' own experiences about particular social situation and then adding additional information onto ways that would be meaningful to the participants. The ultimate end result of these theatrical plays is to improve the social condition. So, I mean, they do theatrical plays on a current project they're doing right now is about the global financial crisis and the working man in the UK and Canada, and how the working man actually got affected within that time of the economic crisis. Now, Ground Zero Productions is making its best effort to revive labor art. Its goal is to give working people access to cultural expression and means to preserve their own heritage. When it comes to labor art, they want every member to feel a sense of belonging, almost like a union. Some of their past projects, Dan and I spoke about really quick, was the hip hop education workshop. Now, it was awesome. He was telling me it targeted the younger audience, so a lot of the younger generation was there, and they were actually participants of the workshop. This workshop consisted of a small team out of Ground Zero Productions, and made a small presentation within the workshop that presented an interactive learning experience for the viewers. These two members were actually they were rap musicians, and they created 3 songs about working in a union and diverse community. So I mean, Ground Zero Productions, basically what they are is they're amateur artists that they really stand for the movement, and the movement is promoting labor art and not letting theatrical plays die. Now, I touched on some of the current projects. Now, I'll just touch on it a little bit again. One of the current projects Dan and I spoke about was digital storytelling. Now, Ground Zero Productions have teamed up with another entity called a Center for Digital Storytelling, and they created actually a 3-day workshop that teaches participants to shape that teaches participants ethics in a digital format. Now, he was also mentioning that the current project they're taking part in, it's actually targeting the older audience, because the older audience doesn't really know a lot of digital tactics that can display their storytelling in a creative way. They had a 3-day workshop that would teach people to do that. Some of their future projects Ground Zero Productions is featuring in is they're teaming up with a group in the UK. And I was talking about this earlier, about the financial crisis. Now, they're actually making a play about people, the working man, how they got affected in the financial crisis. Now, while I was analyzing Ground Zero Productions' past, current, and future projects, Ground Zero Productions, I noticed, is in it to make a social change. And they just want to spread the labor art movement. They almost, in my opinion, act like a union in itself. They have members, and the members feel a sense of belonging. Now, during my conversation with Dan, the art director, I asked him a couple questions, and it directly relates to the report I was trying to come across of. Now, one of the questions were, what changes has the movement implemented within Canadian communities? Dan answered this in a broad sense. What he said was, Ground Zero Productions is really trying to accomplish its movement of theater mixed with learning experiences that participants have gone through. They strive to be a part of an ongoing process of changing nature of communities positively while reflecting on these changes on stage. So basically, they're taking stories, positive stories, and displaying it on stage, or even in workshops, and they're teaching people, and they're really trying to make a social change, so that if something negative happens socially, they want to kind of pick apart it and teach people the right way to do things. The second question I touched upon was, what is the importance of union in order to keep theater alive? He answered, we need a sense of belonging when making the theater production in order to properly get our message through the audience. We, in most cases, act as a union in which we bring members, community workers, etc., together to share past experiences and make a positive change upon these experiences. Now, just to summarize my video, what Ground Zero Productions is all about is they're making a social change, and they're actually going to different communities and trying to make this change one community at a time. They've worked on international levels and national levels. And movements like this are awesome to keep up with the labor art movement, because we really need this in our society. Thank you for watching my video. Take care.